Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday. Are we all on? I'm on. I'm on a really excited place right now because I love Wellness Wednesdays. I love taking this time to reset myself and hopefully help you reset a little bit. I'm going to be talking today about the secrets of a peaceful home, and that applies whether you have one person or living thing in your home versus 10 or more. It is absolutely up to you, as I'm assuming that you are tuning in, and the mom or the touchstone or the, at least, the person who is shouldering most of the responsibility in the home, emotionally, mentally, physically. It's a tough job, and we can all do it in our own way and handle what's happening in the household and make sure that it's running smoothly and we're not just scrambling after to-do lists or chore task charts and stuff. That stuff's important, but that's the only one part of what I'm going to be talking about today. So grab a cup of tea. I wish I could invite you into my office here and make you a cup of tea. I miss making tea for people, but don't worry, I'm going to be opening up my office to local clients soon. So hopefully I will be able to make you a cup of tea if we all stay strong and keep doing the right things. So how are you doing today? It's Wednesday today. I like to check in. How am I doing? I'm doing pretty well. Really making sure that I'm doing the right things that make me feel good. And those might not be the same things that make you feel good. Everyone has sort of baseline needs, I think, like water, sleep, and exercise, and good nutrition, and things like that. But the way that we do them or the specifics on them are going to vary from person to person. That's why I kind of don't believe in strict dieting or really out there exercise plans, unless that's your thing. For most people, strict and extreme is not part of who we want to be. And that goes for our household vibe too, like actually what's going on in the home. So let's just take a moment to take a nice deep breath, sip on your tea. I'm going to check and make sure that everything on here is working the way it should be. Let me take a look here. I always check in with myself on Wednesdays and just kick back and know that I'm halfway through the week. I've done what I can. Most of us are kind of on Wednesdays, I think, just, kind of trying to, get back in the swing of getting over Mondays and Tuesdays being so darn busy. I mean, if you're anything like our house, Mondays and Tuesdays are really, really busy. So Wednesday's a nice time to take a break in the middle of the day or in the middle of the week and really think about, how did I do? What's done is done, but how did I do? And then also, am I ready for the next 3 days? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and resetting yourself, restarting your attitude, restarting the systems in the house. I know I woke up this morning and it's like, okay, need to get back on the household tasks, because you can't take more than, skipping one round of doing dishes or something like that. And all of a sudden it just explodes, right? So we are going to talk about the secrets to a peaceful home. And a peaceful home doesn't necessarily mean a perfect home, doesn't necessarily mean a clean home. It doesn't necessarily mean an always happy home or a smoothly running home, but you can have a peaceful home no matter what your situation. It's up to you as the mom, as the one who's, the gatekeeper of the home, to determine the vibe. So grab that cup of tea, take a nice deep breath. And I'm going to tell you some of the things that I do every day to keep the vibe in my home, the vibe in my heart, peaceful. And so that I can show up and serve the people who reach out to me every day and need my services instead of scrambling through. So you've got to refocus everything, be present right now, shut everything off, give yourself the permission to just be here and take this time for yourself because you deserve it. Take another nice deep breath. Let it all go. It's easier than you think, but sometimes that's the hardest thing to do, is to just come right back here. Right back here. Do you hear the birds outside my window? Oh, I love this time of year when the birds come back and start singing again, and it's very sunshiny out there, and let's get on with it so we can have an awesome day of springtime, because there's no better time to really let nature rejuvenate you. So, secret to the peaceful home number 1, create better boundaries. Yes, I said it, the B word, boundaries. A boundary is firm yet flexible. It's going to get tested. It's going to get pushed. One of y'all said, every time I set a boundary, somebody tries to cross it. Yep, that's going to happen. Absolutely. What are you going to do about it? The universe is testing you on these boundaries. So how do we do this in the home? What does your house feel like from day to day? Like, are you really kind of just going through the motions and it's kind of chaos? I remember one of my coaching clients, she came to me, recently divorced, 3 kids, left the father and moved into a different home with her parents in this different home that wasn't her parents' home, but they all kind of moved in together. And she's like, I don't know who's in charge here. And my kids are running wild and school's coming up and blah, 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 blah. This was a few years ago. And I was just like, girl, you have got to take control of that house. And she did. She really, really did. She had to get over kind of being, oops, let me go back to that. Being the pushover all the time. That's one of the reasons she left. So are you always feeling stressed and pressured? Are you always running around late and scrambling for the last thing and don't know where your keys are, kind of? Or are you swinging to the other end and then totally like bored out of your mind? Everything has been done to death. You have cabin fever like no other. Do you spread your energy around too much? Are you running crazy in 7 different directions and don't know what's going on? If this is your day-to-day experience, you are definitely missing out on showing up as your best self in your life. And I know that's not possible every single moment. And it's probably not even possible, because I think we're all very, very capable, but kind of sell ourselves short. So you really do need routines and practices to make your life easy. That goes for your daily business routines. That goes for your daily health routines. That goes for the household running of the household routines. It's absolute science that you need routines because you cannot make that many decisions every day from scratch. You will wear out your decision-making power for the day and your willpower, and then that's it. So these non-negotiables, you have to do these things every day, or at least keep them very well maintained on a regular basis so that they don't get out of control. So everything in your entryway needs a home. If it looks like a bomb went off in the entryway or the mudroom or wherever you are, it needs to be handled, and it needs to be a stop and put your stuff away after school before you get your snack kind of situation. Handle that stuff, set expectations, show them how, show yourself how, and model that behavior, mama. Set time for using media. So any kind of watching, any kind of device, it has to be an expected thing, a thing where there's some limits on it, or expectations, or priorities that we do these other things first and then do that, or it's a set thing. And then homework and chores, your kids should know what's expected of them, and that's going to change as they grow, change throughout the school year, but they should know, at least on a semi-weekly basis, what they and when they do their homework and chores. Are they going to do it every time? No. Are they going to balk about it? Yeah. This is an expectation, and the sooner you get them on that and show them how, by just settling into their routine and doing what needs to be done, they're so much happier. And you are too when you do your own homework and chores, right? It also applies to the person running the household. Have some set meal times as much as possible, and really make a focus and a point to be done with dinner by a certain time and move on from that part of your day. Oops, I went too fast there. But you get the idea of how you need to say, I'm in charge here. That also means strategy number 2, you get to set the mood. You get to decide what kind of vibe you want in your home. And chances are you probably didn't get a ton of say in that in most of the parts of the home. So is your home, or would you like your home to be, any of these things: peaceful, satisfied, a happy place, energized, organized, inspired? Of course. Does it have to look like Pinterest? No. Has it been more chaotic, or feeling like you're just in survival mode, or everybody's just grumpy and tired and shit's everywhere and you're just like, so over it and feel like you need to move or something, it's chances are you got a mix of this going on, but hopefully, we're coming into our home, or we're spending time in our home feeling more of the left column than the right. But to get to the left column, we have to handle all of the things that are making us feel all of these things. So usually it's those loose boundaries. We're behind on time, we're behind on chores, we're behind on something where we haven't been prioritizing our time or our efforts in a certain way. Now, when you want to shift the mood of the house, you can, go into any room or area of the home and use things like aromatherapy, lighting, and music to shift the vibe instantly. And you know this, and take charge of it. Absolutely. And show your kids how to do this too. Let them join in. Now, maybe aromatherapy might not be, maybe you just want a little misty spray bottle of aromatherapy essential oils or something to use. Sometimes all of these things are not always, kid friendly, but sometimes they are, especially easy ones like lavender, chamomile, orange, and lemon. Those essential oils are pretty safe to use, and most people respond to them. Just remember, kids are sensitive. Lighting. We are light creatures. We respond to light. Use it like a set director. And when it's time to tone things down, just gradually tone things down. Make sure that even though the light changes from time to time, because we live in the Northern Hemisphere and, our light daylight length changes, we still need to, control that when it's time to go to bed and it's still light out, right? Music is always a game changer, and we should always be experiencing our movie or our music and moving our bodies before we even go out the door, because it lets off that residual energy. It sets us up for an attitude of what we want to be and who we want to be that day, and sends us out into the world, on the right vibe. And you can do that with your kids. They would love it. Classical is great for study times, or something that's, not distracting, kind of uplifting. And then, of course, calm for evenings. And then once you do that, kind of setting the vibe, you are going to be able to do strategy number 3 so much more easily. Be calm and present. Yes, this might be the most difficult thing ever, right? But it's so much more of a powerful place to be as the parent, as the runner of the household, as the team leader, whoever you need to be in that moment. So are you showing your kids or your family members the best side of you? When you're going through your morning routine or coming home at night or wherever you are in the day, your energy and your thoughts affect the entire house. No, mama not happy, nobody happy, right? So you got to do that. You got to prioritize that. You got to do that for yourself. And if you were to model any of these 3 things, like breathing exercises, meditation, or journaling, to your kids, not saying they have to do it, but just let them see you doing it on a consistent basis, they probably will just join in, and that would really help them shift their vibe. See what I'm saying? So easy breathing exercises. You can do any kind of breathing exercise you want. There's tons of them out there, but really easy. So in for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4. Just for a minute or 2. That's just a couple of rounds of counting your breath. Very easy. And a step above that then would be meditation, an intentional focus on the present moment for a small period of time. And meditations are so luxurious because you don't have to do anything. You can sit comfortably, you can breathe easy, and you don't have to figure out anything. You can just let those thoughts float. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about meditation in a moment. But kids know how to do this. You don't have to teach them up to a certain age. And the more present they can become with themselves, the better. Teach that one early. And then journaling, when you get stuff out of your head and analog style, old school style, into a notebook onto paper, magic happens. Lose your stress, set your intentions, find things you're grateful for, put it all down on some paper, close the book, get on with your day. It's like downloading, it's like taking out the trash or, downloading the inspiration, like whatever you need to do in that moment. So all of these things can change you on a physical level, on a mental level, on an emotional level. And that's what's going to help you be calm and present as, the leader of the home. And I've had one of you say, I'm doing all of these things and I'm doing it. And I'm not calming down. And I'm like, well, first up, you can't force yourself to calm down or to love your life. What did she say? How do you not hate your life? Because she's a single mom with 3 children during lockdown. It's been very, very difficult. And it's like, well, first up, you have to stop trying so hard and thinking that if I do a breathing exercise, it's going to make me love my life. That's not probably what's going to happen, but it's going to make it easier to handle the next task. Are you with me? That's the benefit and the practice of doing 1 or 2 of these things is it just sort of clears the decks for you for a moment and allows you to refocus on what's important. And sometimes we're worried too much about like doing dishes or, checking things off the to-do list that we miss out on some of that. I'm going to talk more about that in a minute. So meditation is letting go of thoughts as they come up. You're always going to have thoughts. Meditation is not turning off the thoughts. Everybody thinks they're a failure at meditation because the thoughts keep coming. No, that's just what happens. Eventually those thoughts will slow down and you won't be so attached to them. Meditation is staying focused on the present moment by looking at a candle or a crystal or a picture or a tree or something. It is not letting the thoughts about the future and the past run the show. We get attached to them and we're off running in our head and we're not here and we're missing the present moment. Meditation is being mindful of the breath and bringing your attention back to a point of focus. Over and over again, just bring it back. Just bring it back. Just bring it back. Monkey mind, just bring it back. Meditation is not being uncomfortable, like sitting in uncomfortable positions or doing unfamiliar rituals, though the bing bong bang dang dang dang. Ever watch Absolutely Fabulous? She's so hilarious when she tries to mimic spirituality. You don't have to do anything except be. And sometimes that's the most difficult thing of all, because we've all been taught to rush, 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 go, go, go. That's why we're so resistant to ritual and schedule or routines and schedules, because, you know, left to our own devices, we don't want to be told what to do, but then we get kind of lost. So being able to refocus ourselves and stay on task and stay on track and not be scattered and not be rushing and not be all over the place and surrender to that routine that's in place that will keep your household running. There, you've got it. Now you're cooking. All right. Strategy number 4, make a connection. Make a connection. That's what home is about. It's not just furniture or Wi-Fi or a place to crash. It's a place where we live our life, and more so this year probably than any other. So really, when you're in your home, I think your biggest priority should be making a connection. So what's the most important thing to you as a parent? Is it making sure that your kids do their lessons every day? Is it making sure that they feel safe and secure every day? Is it making sure that they are helpful every day? What is it? It can be easy to lose sight of what matters when we're focused on homework or, losing ourselves in media or just not spending our time on the right things. Everything in life can wait when your child needs your time. Pretty much everything. So when it is time to have that one-on-one, listen. Do some art or craft projects or some kind of a hobby or a recreational thing. Move your body, dance, exercise, stretch, something. And get down with your kid and do it with your kid and make them the focus and the priority, not just this thing you have to manage and clean up all the time. You might be very, very surprised about what is revealed when you get still with your kid and lose yourself in listening or coloring or dancing, and find that, they can lead you back to some happiness if you allow them to show you the way. And believe me, kids sometimes get the short end of the stick and they know it. They're always being told what to do, when to do it, how to do it. They're always being corrected. They're always being told to quiet down or they should have known better. Give them some space to hang with you, get to know you as a person, not just as the taskmaster, right? It's important. It's important. Are you going to have time for art every day? Maybe not, but it doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be a huge deal. And it can easily weave in with things maybe that you're already doing. Think about it. What are some ways that you can involve yourself in this way or any other way, but as long as you're making that connection, right? You're getting down to their level. You're allowing them to lead you, teach you, show you, or share with you. It's very important. What's also important is whatever the activity is, doesn't have to be right, doesn't have to be finished, doesn't have to anything. And if you find out something, your child confides in you, and you feel like you need to correct their behavior, maybe pick your right time for that in a follow-up way, rather than jumping in on that moment and then they wish they hadn't told you, something like that. So sometimes when you pull back your energy and just sit and be, kind of like meditation, right? Who knew that could help you be a better parent, right? And also giving the opportunity to be spontaneous and fun, within reason, obviously, but we don't always have to stick to the chores. Maybe we all say, screw it on chores tonight and let's watch family movie night. That is always the option. And your kids will remember that, definitely, especially if, you've been doing it well and you can, really guide them in knowing when it's okay to say yes to something else, or no, we need to keep on and do our chores. Yeah. The last thing you want to instill in your kids, though, is a resistance to life skills. They need to know and want to know how to handle their day to day. They don't want to be managed so much. They want to be a little bit more independent and probably can do a lot more than you give them credit for. Absolutely. It just might take a little bit of patience in the beginning, and they might show you how they like their room to be so that they can think and they can be peaceful and they can just be. And maybe, it's all going to be this evolution, but you're really, showing them how to go about your day in a way that is for your own, benefit and enjoyment, but also helps you get the job done, So I hope that's been helpful. I hope that you're having a very peaceful home life. Maybe some of y'all are feeling a little, like I said, cabin fever at the moment. We're all just chomping at the bit to get back to a more active life, more socially active and more work active, or traveling, or whatever we're doing. Be patient. And over the next few weeks, I'm going to keep on talking about some things that can help you sort of get through this last bit of spring, that spring fever kind of thing. So next week, I'm going to share with you exercises that you need to do every day so you don't rust. Because I think we've all been, and I've been feeling this too, a little too hunched over the computer screen and not enough opening up to our, energetic and physical lives. So let's practice on some of that next time. I want you to be very, very, very careful with your energy, your time, your intention, your emotions. It's all an extension of you. Pull it all back in, focus it on what's right for you. And in the meantime, be well. I'll see you next week. Thanks for joining me.